The story of my life remains written on these pages, but my fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
Greetings, fellow YouTubers, and welcome back to The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. And boy, are we in for some serious suffering, good folks. Are we in for a tragedy? I have my sad beer here with me, because God knows I'm gonna need it. Oh man, this is gonna be something. So, previously on Sir Brante, we have some good news and some bad news, folks. The good news are our mother Lydia found the strength to recover from a grave illness. She's safe and sound. She's in for a happy and prosperous old age. And another thing is that we have managed to get into position to be favored by the overseer. Our family can rise higher than ever and be not only happy but prosperous as well. Actually, our stats are great, as you can see. Our reputation is good, our wealth is good, our unity is absolute. We have family of means unlocked, we are wealthy, so yeah. The bad news are that our romance with Octavia Milanides ended on a sour note. As she killed herself in a ritual suicide and transformed into some ancient magical creature, Latari, we tried to convince her to go back to her father to talk things out, and as you can see, she did not take it that well. She thinks we betrayed her, that we betrayed her secrets to her father, which we did, but for sound reasons, I think. And the most horrible news is that in order to maintain our connection with Gloria after she gets married to Jose El Pelletier, in order to keep in touch with her and preserve our social standing, our hopes for ennoblement by the sword, we had to challenge our elder brother, Stefan Brante, to a duel. We had to claim a right to the position of family heir. So, yeah. It is early in the morning and dreadfully windy. In a barren field by the city wall, two lonely figures approach one another. The music. Me and Stefan face each other, swords at the ready. Stefan glares at me, there is sadness in his eyes. Quite the twist of fate. It seems I have learned to fence only to fight my own little brother. Remember how you hit me hard with a stick when we were boys? And our mother scolded you for brandishing a weapon? Who knew it was all leading to this? The added cruel irony is that Stefan is probably gonna fight me with the very same sword I brought to him from the capital as a gift when I came back. When I came back home, like this is some Shakespearean stuff, guys. Like the writers of this game know their Shakespeare. Two brothers fighting to the death with a sword one of them gave to another as a gift. Oh, okay. Stefan, I am deeply sorry of what is about to happen, but this is the only way our conflict can be resolved. I will not allow you to bully this family into submission, and I guess your pride will never allow you to acknowledge my superiority. Stefan nods gloomily. Childhood memories cloud our faces, playing, fighting, pretending to fence. It takes us both an effort to remain in the present. The cloaks come off. Ceremonious bows are exchanged. We can both sense the shades of our Brante ancestors watching us. A sacred ritual is underway. For noblemen, there is no higher judgment. I'm kinda confused why is it considered a duel in the court of honor, a legitimate court, when there is no third party observing us, but I guess our father bore witness to my challenge, and we belong to the same blood type, so it still counts. Like we have the same ancestors, we are judged by the same ancestors, so it's all the same. Our duel to the true death begins. My elder brother wastes no time opening with a flurry of strikes. His skill and mastery is truly commendable. I dodge, parry, and block, but Stefan keeps driving me back. The morning air is cool, yet my dress shirt is already soaked with sweat. The tip of his blade slashes and weaves through the air, almost invisible to the eye. Stefan is wearing me down. I cannot last long. My brother's first blow lands. A glancing cut, a blood-red line on my sleeve. I grit my teeth. You begin studying swordplay too late, brother! Now I notice that Stefan is growing exhausted himself. When the time is right, I go on the counterattack. And now I am the one showering him with a flurry of blows. My elder brother is stepping back, surprised by my onslaught. The irony is that Stefan is wrong. We too have started to learn fencing from childhood. We dared to study fencing even though we had no right to it by birth, so Stefan is wrong here. He is not in such an advantageous position as he thinks he is. Nonetheless. A jab, another! I take another swing with my trusty blade. Ha! Stefan deflects my blow with an artful feint and moves swiftly to the side. My foe is on my left now. I am defenseless. Stefan's blade rises. I have but one moment to act before he does. My life and my brother's are hanging by a thread. So, with the exception of perish and accept our demise, we have two options: parry or resort to dirty tricks to outfox Stefan. Parry requires that we have Valor 18, which we do. Oh my gods, guys. So here's my set beer. The most ironic thing is that the last point of Valor we need to unlock this. We have gained it after we saved Thomas from assassins. After we rescued Thomas's life. So, well, my brother deserves a fair fight and a fair death. So be it. The sword swishes through the air, but my hands act faster than I think. I turn around just in time. In a flash, my brother's blade recoils, deflected. Over! I waste no time retaliating. A blow hits home. My sword runs through my brother's chest. A strange gargling noise comes out of Stefan's throat as he falls to his knees. His eyes grow dim now. The tiniest red dot blots his dress shirt. Stefan's lips move. His voice is less than a whisper. I lean closer to hear him. You win. A noble victory. Proud of you, brother. Now this is heartbreaking. A faint smile glimmers on his lips as his face loses all color. I listen, but there are no more words now, only his breathing, weak and hoarse. Shh, shh, shh. Here, brother. I'm here with you. You have fought honorably. You are a good nobleman and a brave fighter. May the twins judge you worthy, as I do. Stefan falls prone on the cold hard ground, coughing up blood, convulsing, shaking. Then at last he grows still. Stefan Brante, my elder brother, has died his true death in my arms, proud of me till the very end. Proud of my skill and honor, even though it cost him his life. This game, guys. This game. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I take Stefan's lifeless body home. He will rest in the family crypt now. Stefan's soul will join my family's blood tide, an unseen specter watching over us all. Now I have to get ennobled by the sword, so Stefan's soul will not perish in darkness, so Stefan can still communicate with us and with our descendants. I must get ennobled by the sword. Stefan would have wanted it this way. The home is quiet. Father awaits me at the door, his face a frozen mask of grief and pain. So, you are the one who has returned. I have no words, Bran. A long moment passes before Father speaks again. If only I knew your quarrel would cost me one of my sons. Oh, I should have had you arrested for an attempted duel. But Stefan would never have allowed that. Twins, damn it. He collapses in an armchair, hiding his face in his hands. There is nothing that can be done now. The judgment of noble honor has been rendered. I must accept this loss. I have lost my firstborn son, my heir. Very well, Bran. You are now the family's eldest son and the heir of the Brante family. Remember this. You are now responsible for the fate of our family, or what is left of it. I withdraw to my room, wash the blood off my shoulder, and collapse onto the bed. I am overwhelmed by memories. I remember my brother leading me by the hand through the yard. I remember sitting at the big table on the porch, poking each other in the arm. I remember marching through the streets of Anisot at night looking for Gloria. I remember Stefan embracing me tightly when I returned from the capital. I remember his boyish smile when I gave him the sword. The very same sword he tried to kill me with just a few hours ago. How proud he was of me. How happy he was. Soon I see Stefan for the last time at his funeral. My elder brother's body is now gone forever, reposing in the depths of the crypt. Did he reach the peak of the shining pillar, or was he doomed to suffer at the foot for all eternity? My family is quiet. They will not meet my eyes. So, Chile Stefan perished while being deeply affected with us, deeply in love with us. We loved each other greatly, but our duty to the family prevailed at the end. Holy crap. Yeah. Our unity is at peace level now. We are a sorrowful but peaceful family. There is no more strife in the family because Gloria is out, Stefan is dead, and basically we have father and mother who love each other deeply, and Nathan who is just the heart, the kindest soul in the world. And I am the heir now, a family member who will lead the house Brante in the future. So, this is my calling, huh? This is the cause the twin gods assigned to me. To be a kinslayer, a murderer of my own brother. This is the price I have to pay to fulfill my duties to the family. Yeah. Stefan's demise. He died by my hand in a duel. Thomas is waiting. What? Okay. This is a day I remember well. It began with a loud, impatient knock at the door. I am surprised to see Thomas paying a visit to my home. There is joy on his face as my old friend shakes my hand. Brante, it's been a while since I saw you last. I just got back to the city. I visited my folks and ran straight here. Otton finally stopped hounding me. I sure hope that whole mess is over for good. Hey, Thomas, I'm so glad you're okay. I was worried about you, like what became of you after we parted ways, after I saved you, but please come in. But he gestures for me to wait, a sly smile on his face. I am in a hurry right now, buddy. So much to do, so little time. I'll explain. I just got back from Sulmina. There was this girl in the village, a shopkeeper named Mira. She gave me shelter and I ended up falling head over heels in love with her. I pat him on the shoulder with joy. He laughs happily. My poor ma and pa. All their life they had hoped I would marry a noble woman. I used to hope for that too when I was young. But now I know some things matter more than noble titles. Mira's about to be my wife. He suddenly grows serious. Otton's left me alone, but Mira and I will still be better off far away from Anisot. I wasn't happy serving in religion anyway. I thought the nobleman's lot would set me free from suffering and do the same for my descendants. But it just ain't that simple. I was less free than ever. Oh, I know the feeling. The noble's lot is not all that it seems. It's very hard and very cruel. I'll be better off as a commoner again, earning my living by the sweat of my brow. A farmstead might not be an estate, but the high and mighty won't ever set their sights on me again. I will live my life in peace, just like I wanted. I've just got one last request for you, though, Bran. You've done so much for me, but I would be honored if you'd be a witness to my wedding vows before the twins. Actually, if we are a priest, we can perform the wedding ceremony ourselves. But as we are now, because we have made an oath of friendship all those years ago, we can't bear witness to Thomas' wedding vows. Our friendship was strong enough. We've been with Thomas through hell and high water. We were not always a very good friend. We acted selfishly several times, but we were with him when it mattered. We went with him through all his troubles, all his strifes, and yeah, we can't do it. Of course I will. Thomas, it would be an honor and privilege to be a witness at your wedding. Thank you for trusting me so. I do not deserve it. Twins, no, I do not, but thank you. Thank you. Thomas glows with joy. Wonderful. You've got no idea how much this means to me, Bran. I gotta go get ready. What a mood whiplash, guys. Like, just in the previous scene, we murdered our own brother, and now there's this happy wedding scene, like our best friend is about to get married. Yeah. This game is great in this, like, emotional Russian... what's it called? Russian... shit, I forgot. Well, this attraction with where you go into spirals and such, yeah. Several days later, I follow my childhood friend to a smallish temple nestled on the edge of a brass district. He is wearing a plain white shirt. We are both welcomed by the bride, a blonde-haired young woman, innocence and hospitality written across her trusting face. The bride's parents stand further away, two aging villagers eyeing the streets of the big city with suspicion. Mira, meet Brante, my best friend ever since we were lads. He'll bear witness to our oaths before the twins. Yeah, best friend. Yeah, of course. The bride greets me with a humble bow. Oh, my friend is very lucky to meet such beauty. Lovely, Mira. Glad to see you. The three of us step inside the temple. We close the doors behind us. Tradition demands no one else be allowed to attend the sacred wedding ritual. An aged priest by the name of Ignatius Savertini meets us inside. Thomas and Mira kneel before our altar. O twins, elder and younger, behold these two as they kneel before you. They beseech you to join them in eternal wedlock. The candle flames dance and quiver. The darkness beneath the vault of a temple ceiling swirls into two colossal shades. The bride and groom raise their eyes to them awestruck. Thomas, dost thou swear thy loyalty to this divine union? I do. The bride assents to the same query. My turn is next. I stand over the kneeling bride and groom. Thomas Gary and Mira of Sulmina. May the twins listen to your vows now. One of the colossal shades leans over them, looming like a towering sword, while the other bursts in a beacon of blinding light that illuminates the temple from within. From this moment forth they are bound to one another by divine law, and divine love fills their hearts. In your sight of the twins, Thomas Guerra and Mira of Sulmina are now man and wife, as Brante bears witness. The ceremony has ended, it is time to celebrate. A humble but happy feast is to be held in the bride's village. Oh, nice. There's gonna be beer, I bet. Oh. Ah, nice, nice. Celebrations, great. As day gives way to night, me and Thomas leave the revel to enjoy a moment of quiet repose on the front porch. Remember how we fought in that yard over our little brothers? Look how much has happened since then. Both of us laugh as we recall the beginning of our friendship. I will treasure those memories forever, I will. And you can be sure that my firstborn son's name will be Bran. Bran Guerra? No, I like it. Thomas chuckles, pondering. You and I, we grew up on the same street, but look how different we turned out. You have a say in our people's fates, Brante. Your name will surely be remembered. But me, I am still a humble nobody. And you know what? I am okay with it. I used to be so sure a man could never start over with a clean slate. But I guess I was wrong. I'll never forget you, Bran Brante. And I'll never forget everything you've done for me. A tear runs down his cheek. For the last time, Thomas embraces me. Tomorrow, he will live on his oath forever. Will we ever meet again? Nobody knows. The important thing is that we achieved the happiest ending for Thomas. We see him off to his new life with a loving wife, to live a happy life on a farm, far from all the danger and chaos. Nice. Repentance. The last few months have been marked by a welcome absence of quarreling at the Brante estate. My only concern these days is the price I have had to pay for this peace. Yeah. Two of my siblings are either away from me or dead. Yeah. There is something to think about, folks. Okay, today I come home late. Everyone is sound asleep. I am making my way to my bedroom when I hear a suspicious noise coming from father's study. Huh? The room is brightly lit by the moon. I recognize my brother's clumsy silhouette above father's desk in the moonlight. Nathan hears me come in and leaps to the side in fear. I see something glinting in his hands, father's dagger. Oh, Bran, it's you. Shh, shh, shh. I just took the dagger for a moment. Don't worry, I know holding the weapons against my lot. I don't mean anyone any harm. It's for me, actually. I have to go to the twins. He clumsily turns the dagger around, holding it against his own body. Little brother, can you please talk to me first? Like, what's going on? Why do you want to take one of your own lives? I'm not even sure how to say it. Brother, I just can't find a place in this world. I'm always an outsider, always a waste of space. Isn't there some place for me in the twins' design? I can't stop thinking about it. I've been trying to understand them for so long. How am I supposed to live in their world? What's my place in their great plan? But I've only made things worse. I meddled with a Markian sect, defied and rejected my lot, indulged in vice, but I found nothing there. The old faith, the new faith, Father Mark's heresy, they gave me all sorts of answers, but none of them worked. There's nothing else left for me now. I've got to go see the twins myself and ask them. I know I'm an affront to their plan just because I'm alive, but I will repent, I will pray for their forgiveness. Nathan, the twins don't forgive. They never have and they never will. They are swift and merciless, remember what I told you all those years ago? You will be judged in the hereafter for every false step you take. Don't ask the twins for favor or answers. They send you dooms, not fortunes, remember? He signs heavily. I know, but I still have to try. There is no other way. One of my lives isn't too big a price if it works. I can't find any use for them anyway. See you soon, brother. Hope I will be different when I come back. A cloud passes over the moon. Our study glows dark. Nathan's body contorts awkwardly. He raises the dagger. We can let him do as he pleases. It will actually help him. He will be hopeful. Protecting him. This will be bad. He needs to resolve this crisis somehow. We can't just babysit him. Call Mother. Oh, because Mother recovers. See, though I don't trust our mother very much. I am not that close with her. Nathan is and always was close with her. He trusts her. And I think that's my best bet. Nathan, what about mother? What about Lydia? What would she say about this? Nathan stops, stunned, startled. Mother? Please, let me just call her right now. I am very distant with her, but you are not. You were always close. She always loved you. Please, let her talk with you. Listen, hear her out, please. I keep my eyes trained on Nathan as I shout loudly for her. My cry wakes up everyone in the house, but mother is the first to reach us. She is very worried. Twins almighty! Nathan, stop, please! Nathan is frozen in place. His fingers grip the dagger's hilt even tighter. Mother, I'm so sorry, Mother. I have to go there. I have to reach the twins just for a little while. I need them to hear me. And call out to them from here. You don't need to be in the hereafter to be heard, my son. Remember, they are always watching. They see every moment of your life. All you need to do is pray to them, my son. The twins are always at your side, not only at the moment of death. Your life is their gift, and they watch every single choice you make. Remember how you felt their gaze when you were a little boy? Nathan has dropped the dagger. Yes, but why won't they tell me anything? Why is dying the only way I can be close to them? My dear son, you must not dare to demand anything from the twins themselves. All you can do is ask. All you are doing right now is demanding, listen to me, give me the answer. You cannot do this. You must address them in prayer, in honest, humble prayer born from the truth in your heart. It's hard work, but if such is their will, one day they will respond. And then you will find peace. Mother opens her arms for Nathan. He sobs loudly. His knees buckle as he nearly collapses into Mother's arms. I think we made the right choice, also because Nathan was grateful to us all this time, and we have promised to him way back in our childhood that we will not anyone harm him, including himself. So I think we fulfilled our promise. We didn't allow him to harm himself. It's a good thing your brother was at your side in this time of trouble. Twins bless you for this good deed, Bran. I have few good deeds to ask twins for mercy or forgiveness, Mother, but thank you. Thank you for your consideration. Nathan stops wasting time in taverns with suspicious characters. He spends every day in ardent prayer. The family watches the stark change in their wayward son with great surprise. And then, one day, Nathan shares a revelation with me. I spoke to them, brother. I was deep in humble prayer, not even hoping for an answer. But when I felt them listening to me, felt it with all my being. It's like I left the mortal realm and went up into the heavens, and I dared to address them. I begged the twins for forgiveness, and the elder, he reached out to me. He wanted to respond to me, I know he did, but the younger sword stopped us. It cut the bond between us, and it was like I fell back down from a great height. But I saw compassion in the elder's eyes as I fell, and he followed me. He shall descend again, he shall witness our suffering and bring his mercy. And then, the world will change at last. Bran seriously considers that he might have been wrong about the twins all this time. Nathan saw something, or at least Nathan feels something that is out of my reach. Maybe because Nathan is a better person than I am. A way better person. I start to think that my mother might actually be a better person than I am. Maybe I was wrong about a lot of things in this life. Nonetheless, I hope with Nathan, I hope that he is right. I hope that someday the twins will look upon us and we will see mercy and compassion in their eyes. For the first time in my life, I hope for this. Unity. Despite all the hardships, we are once again one step away from pure harmony. We are a very peaceful family. Nice. Oh, we're so close to the end of the peace chapter. Oh. A storm on the horizon. For over a year now, Anisotte has been steadily simmering with unrest, like a southport over a well-stocked flame. Commoners flock to the squares in droves. The mobs grow bolder, demanding new freedoms and protection under the law. The last-row insurgents commit brazen acts, hoping to overthrow the authorities. The noble gentry insisted that every mob be dispersed by force. They are ready to fight for the ancient privilege sword in hand. In spite of this enormous pressure, Overseer Gaius Tempest remains highly reluctant to allow any bloodshed. But the common people are already too desperate. More and more people are rejecting the laws and converting to the new faith, not to mention other stranger, more esoteric teachings and beliefs. New secret societies and clandestine gatherings appear every day. Printed pamphlets litter the streets. Father Leonard has transformed the Temple of a Silver Tree into a new believer stronghold. He is no longer afraid to break the ban on preaching the new faith. His sermons now openly challenge the old faith. It seems the Church of the Twins is unable to recognize its great mistake. The laws must be abandoned as relics of the past. The Twins granted everyone the freedom to choose their own path in this world, and I will not stop until this freedom is recognized throughout the Empire. The next Patriarch of Magra must be chosen by the parish, not the clergy. This is the will of the Twins, and it must be ours as well. What makes him think so? Okay. Okay. Leonard intends to become Patriarch, chosen by the people. That's all. His opponents are beset by internal struggle and strife. The new faith is steadily growing in numbers. People no longer fear being damned to the foot of the pillar for rejecting the divine design. The streets are restless and dangerous. Minds and souls are beset by confusion. Conspiracies plague the city. Time marches on, and the change is coming. It cannot be stopped. Can I find a way to guide it in the right direction? The weight of a new age now rests upon my shoulders. Further schism. Uh-oh. A family matter. Okay. Even our family's affairs have been affected by the growing unrest. It is during these troubled times that the future of our family will be decided. Father shakes me awake early in the morning. He is excited, clutching a letter bearing the imperial seal of the Tempest dynasty. Wake up, son. Come to the sitting room. A letter has come from Overseer Gaius Tempest. To the Honorable Brante family. I, Gaius of the Tempest dynasty, Overseer of the province of Magra, have given due consideration to your petition to have your bloodline ennobled by the sword. You are expected in 1 week at Castle Enery, as are all petitioners for the sword, where you shall hear my decision firsthand. Father turns to me. He looks fatigued. Well, son, it's time for us to be honest with each other about our family. What do you have to say about this? Where do we, the Brantes, stand after so many years? What hopes do we have for the future of this family? Father is hurt very deeply by our conflict with Stefan, that we killed his firstborn son, but he's still sympathetic to us, so he still trusts us enough. Nice. The past 7 years have been marked by many life-changing events, and our decisions have made us realize what matters most to us. The future of a Brante family must be decided here and now. Easy peasy. Become members of the Overseer's entourage. Reputation enough, wealth enough, unity very high, and a family of means. Yes! Yes, my dear fellows. Father, there is no cause for concern. We have worked hard to ensure that the family's reputation is spotless. All slanderous rumors have been brushed aside. Our finances are as good as ever. Our family will not suffer poverty for generations to come. We had to part ways with Gloria. She is no longer a member of our household, but she is still part of the family. We are still connected with her, we are keeping in touch with her, we are gonna visit her the first chance we get. The Brante family has prevailed despite the hardships cruel fate has sent our way. What's more, our deeds have become famous among the noble dynasties of Magra. I think the Overseer will grant us a place at his court. He will make us members of his entourage. Few can hope to attain the Overseer's favor, but we have earned it through our loyalty to imperial tradition. We now have a mighty benefactor, the Emperor's own brother. The future of our bloodline is secure. Our family will have power, respect, and lofty positions in the Overseer's court. Father puts a hand on my shoulder, a jubilant smile on his face. Yes, my son. We stood strong no matter what. Remember how much your grandfather doubted us? But together we have proven what the Brante family can achieve. Yes! Oh, look at this! Grandfather's spirit can finally rest in peace, and grandfather is actually sympathetic to us. He's proven wrong. He thought that I'm a weakling. He thought that I am no good, that I am good for nothing, but he was wrong and he knows it and he recognizes it, so yeah, grandfather. Ennobled by the sword, yes. We have a noble title and a position at court. A noble bloodline. Actually, I have found out recently that the nobility of the sword gives us not only a title, but also this. Look at this. Tuono, a noble estate with a small village. It currently has no owner. It was formerly owned by the Elmerse bloodline before the blood tide ran dry. According to the ancient tradition, the Archduke of Magra will grant Tuono to the next bloodline to be ennobled by the sword. So not only do we get a title, a high position in society, we will also get a small estate with a village. Yeah, we are good. Things are looking great. Okay, the long preparation for the journey is finally over. My entire family is leaving for Castle Henry, where Overseer Gaius Tempest is holding a reception of the utmost importance. We have packed our finest garments, and a length of luxurious fabric has been embroidered with our family crest. This crest. Broken branch in chains. Yeah. Okay. We spent several long days riding the dusty high road, and when finally we watch from the carriage window as Gaius Tempest's impregnable citadel emerges from behind the craggy mountains. Ooh. We are ushered into a grand hall, already teeming with pacing nobles from the Overseer's court. Beneath this tall stone vault, matters are resolved, deals are brokered, and alliances are made. Oh, not far from the rest, we see several noble families who have come from all over Magra. These are petitioners for the hereditary title, anxiously awaiting Gaius Tempest's judgment. We join them in the center of the hall. Everyone falls silent. Gaius Tempest himself enters the room. Dressed in finery, the Archneon takes his place upon the throne. He gestures imperiously toward us. Approach. We kneel before the throne. Your Grace, the Brante family has come to hear and obey your supreme will. For a long moment, Gaius Tempest's face is cold and expressionless, as he studies each and every one of us. Then the Overseer allows himself a benevolent smile. I have heard the name Brante quite often in recent years. It brings me joy to see you before me now. You have proven yourself in word and deed as loyal followers who respect imperial order and maintain a clear reputation. I, Gaius of the Tempest dynasty, hereby grant your petition and mercifully bestow upon the Brante bloodline the hereditary title of Nobles of the Sword. Bring forth the Blue Book. The Blue Book bears the names of every noble dynasty in the province. It comes to rest in Gaius Tempest's hand. The descendants of a noble bloodline of Brante shall henceforth be born into the noble lot, and so it shall be for all eternity, so long as the empire endures and prospers. The nobles bow their heads before us. This is it. This is it, the long-awaited triumph of the Brante family. Oh, how we have struggled to achieve it. How long have I waited for this moment? Yes! And now, as ancient tradition dictates, may the heir of a bloodline inscribe the name of Brante in the Blue Book, wherein it shall dwell forever. Step forth, heir. There is actually an option to accompany Stefan, and it is very beneficial. It replenishes our willpower, it boosts our relations with Stefan and our father, but no. No. We have made our sacrifices, so I am the heir of a family. Such is my duty. I approach the throne with my head held high. my every movement watched by the court. I bow down before the overseer. He beckons for me to stand tall. Sir Brante, I expected your brother Stefan to stand before me at this moment, but it seems his fate has led him elsewhere. One day the title of a Brante Patriarch will fall to you, as will the honorable duty that comes with it. Bear it with honor. Now, inscribe the name of your bloodline upon the exalted pages of the Empire. I bow my head as the overseer presents me with a quill and the heavy metal-bound book. A solemn silence falls. My heart skips a bit as the quill delicately inscribes upon an empty page the Brante bloodline of Anizot, whose crest beareth an oaken branch. The quill glides across the paper and I feel a quiet cold wind blowing from behind me. The shades of my ancestors are watching. Then a deep, hard voice I have known since childhood rings in my ears. So, grandson, how far you have come. I was always tough on you. I always treated you harshly. Is it a kind of apology? is this what Sir Gregor thinks passes for an apology? But you never let anyone bring you down. You made yourself a judge and a nobleman. You rescued our family from strife. For a given value of rescued, I guess. There can be no strife if there is almost no family to speak of, like our sister is out, my brother is killed, so yeah, we ended the strife. Okay, and you earned us a title. I, your father, you yourself, we will all remain in the noble blood tide when our mortal lives end. Now our family will never perish into darkness. Immortality awaits us all. You have made me proud, my grandson. Yes! I love you, Grandpa Gregor, you violent, elitist, snobbish prick! I love you! Okay, I turn around, but he's not there. I see only my family beaming with jubilation. Father is beyond proud, and now he is the one bowing to me. My heir. Our family has been ennobled by the sword. I am more than just a judge made noble to serve the law. My very blood is now endowed with nobility. The fate of the El Brantes now rests in my hands. And look at these stats. We're the most awesome nobleman there can be. Heir of a family. We succeed our elder brother Stefan as the heir of a Brante family. Horrible choice, horrible solution, and a very tragic ending, but yeah. It's a very dark path, I think. Oh, the empty chair. Days pass, and then months. For a long time now, I have been fulfilling the terms of my allegiance with Magistrate Elverman, sending him secret reports about what goes on at the prefecture and what plans Prefect Elborn has. Ooh, the villainy of this path, the path of career-obsessed noblemen. Yeah. I have grown so accustomed to my weekly reports to the magistrate that they seem like just another part of my work routine. I have become accustomed to my new position as well. With the influential magistrate's patronage, many doors are open to me. Yeah, actually, I have played through a nobleman path several times on this very channel, and I have played through like an imperial nobleman path, but the deal with Elverman and later deal with Gaius Tempest makes this path very easy in terms of story and plot. Like, you have so much power, you don't need to sacrifice anything important to uphold justice or to increase your career. Like, you can achieve a lot for yourself, for your position, for your family wealth, for your family reputation. Like, this corrupted system makes life very easy for your character. I think that's part of what makes the Blessed Arcanian Empire such an interesting setting. Like, it presents a very interesting, complex society, and it presents very well this this seductive power of corruption, how corruption makes things easy for those in power, how corruption benefits few and oppresses the majority. Like if you are in power, if you are one of those selected few, it is actually very beneficial to work with this corrupt system and benefit from it. It's much easier to do the right thing. Like, it's very interesting, very compensated. Okay, nonetheless. In response to my latest report, I receive a letter from Elverman. The envelope is made of intentionally coarse paper. According to noble custom, this is how good news is delivered. Sir Bran el Brante, since our last meeting you have achieved quite a lot at your post. I have not been idle either. I have provided you with the support of the nobles. The elite of the province are ready to make you the next prefect. There is just one step left. Elborn must relinquish the post. Fortunately, your reports have decisively proven that he is not worthy of our trust and must step down. Prepare to take his place when it becomes vacant, my friend. We have great deeds ahead of us. Postscriptum. I am sure you know what to do with this letter. With a smirk, I burn the letter to ashes. Truth be told, I think that Bran's smirk at this moment is somewhat bitter and joyless, despite the circumstances. Allow me to explain. Actually, this is the first time in a long chain of scenes when the deal with Elverman has come up. So, as we approach the ending of the peace chapter, I think it's time for a little self-revelation for Bran el Brante. I think that Bran understands something at this moment, that he achieved quite a lot. He has great career, he is about to become the next prefect, he is about to replace Elborn, and that's not to mention all the good stuff he has gained for his family, like a nobleman by the sword, favor of overseer. He has made a fortune using his occupation to gain something for himself many times. But I think that this stat, our sympathy to Elborn, represents this subconscious guilt Bran feels. He knows that Elborn is a good man. He knows that Elborn wants to fight for a worthy cause. And Bran was tempted at the beginning to fight for the same cause, to fight for justice. But he has chosen the easy path. He was selfish, as he often was, and he has chosen the easy path. And by doing so, he has accumulated all this power, all these connections, all this wealth and political influence, but he hasn't actually done anything meaningful. He hasn't really contributed much to the society. Like, look at this. Justice is exactly where it was at the beginning of a chapter. Despite all our verdicts, all our decisions, still where it was. There is no true justice, true power of the law in the province. Bran's decisions have not made life better for the province. Like, he never did anything that benefited a lot of people. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think Bran is like a truly evil person who used his power to do harm and ruin other people's lives. No, he saved or protected a fair share of good people, like Father Mark and the family of El Este and Friends of Gloria from the Poetry Society, and he let Anthony Foss, who stood up for common folk, he let him off the hook. But he hasn't really achieved anything meaningful. Like, he hasn't really done anything significant. He didn't pass any reforms. The thing is, in this chapter, as a nobleman, you can actually pass many reforms. You can ban the Court of Honor. You can grant the commoners a right of self-defense. You can, if you refuse the deal with Elverman, you can make another deal with Meyer Egmont, the wealthy industrialist, and sign a law that allows the usage of gunpowder in silver mines and improve the wealth of Magra. Bran hasn't done any of it. All he ever did was to use his job to benefit himself, to gain something from the system. And Bran can't shake off this thought that if he dies tomorrow, nothing will remain of him in history books. Nothing. Absolutely. He did nothing of significance. He accomplished nothing of significance. And he can't shake off the thought that had he chosen to stay loyal to Elborn, he could have accomplished something of significance. He could have fought for justice and see it through. He could have refused to sell himself to powerful people. But he has chosen the selfish path, the easy path. And his life was easy, his job was easy. Actually, this is I think this is my easiest job as a nobleman for Bran Brante. Like, Bran Brante had it the easiest, but it's a cruel irony of this path, I think. Not only it presents very well this seductive power of corruption, but it also tells you basically like, okay, dude, you want to be a big shot? Fine. But that's all you're gonna be. Just a big shot. Nothing more. So I think actually Bran feels quite sad. He's not really happy to become the prefect so soon. Twilight over Anisot. Night is falling upon the city. I am about to leave the prefecture when Elverman's assistant comes for me. The magistrate needs to see me urgently. I throw on a cape and attach my sword to my belt. On my way through the Silver District, I notice that many noble houses are flying flags, emerald serpents on a field of sable. This is the coat of arms of Archduke Milanidas. The lowborn servants look around apprehensively and double-check the bolts on the gates. Uh-oh. The city hall is empty. I am escorted to Elverman's quarters. In the twilight, the magistrate's figure looms over the room like a long shadow. A servant lights the candles. The reflections of the flickering flames dance across the walls. It is time, Brante. This night will be a difficult one for Anisot, but it will also go down in history. And we can take some credit for it, Sir Judge. This is the night we rid the province of its vilest enemies. You have done well. Your rulings in court, your defense of the nobles, your reports on Elborn's plans, they have all allowed us to seize power. We will protect order and destroy those who are leading the province and the empire to ruin. We have Archduke Milanidas himself on our side, as well as the noble elite of Anisot. This night, the noble militia will smite the supporters of Gaius Tempest. What? Elborn and the other false nobles who have forgotten honor and tradition in favor of low-born rebels will soon meet true death at the hands of a court of honor. The Archduke will reclaim this province, and henceforth no one will dare to defy the power of the nobility or attempt to strike at the very foundations of the empire. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal, Elverman. This is insane. Like, this is legitimately insane. Like, okay. So basically he wants to protect the empire by destroying the supporters of the imperial overseer, the emperor's brother, by making some nobles kill some other nobles, wrong nobles. Like, Elverman, you double-faced treacherous weasel. Okay, we have a long list of traitors. Sadly, your father Robert L. Brante is among them. However, out of regard for you, I have excluded him from the list. Your family is safe. He gives me a heavy parcel. This is the Archduke's flag. Fly it from the gate of your home, and your family will have no trouble. The militia will see that loyal supporters of the Archduke live within. Okay, I will not go into the logistics of this plan because, like, what logistics? What logic does it have? Okay, Why only now I hear of this plan? How long have you been preparing it? Why didn't you tell me anything? You promised we would save Anizot from uprising, but now you're basically preparing your own uprising, noble uprising. Come on, Brante, don't get so worked up. Yes, I've concealed some of my plans from you, but it was for your own good. Do you have any idea how dangerous the preparations for this night were for me? I have spared you that. All my promises still stand. The position of prefect will be yours. You will uphold the laws and protect order in the province. Now we just need to clear a path for you. But the noble militia is settling up already. Oh yeah, and forget that so-called Otton case once and for all. The commander is on our side and tonight he will lead the noble militia. Don't worry, I will help you make peace with him. Take my advice, Brante. Go home, don't talk to anyone, fly the serpent flag and go to sleep in peace. You have already done your part. If all goes according to plan tonight, tomorrow you will awaken as the new prefect of Magra. Okay, I hastily leave the city hall. Everywhere I look, shutters are drawn and doors are locked. A carriage rolls past me. I hear the sound of hoofs in the distance. The city is anticipating trouble, but the ordinary citizens cannot begin to imagine the massacre the magistrate and archduke have planned. The sun has set. Darkness envelops Anizot. There is hardly any time left. If I'm going to change sides, I must do it now. I can either accept the role the magistrate has assigned me and retreat to the safety of my home, or rush to alert Elborn about the conspiracy in order to prevent the massacre. So, if we go home, justice drops, obviously, and I imagine that as we are very close to the end of the chapter, it immediately triggers Night of the Serpents. Yeah. We do nothing, and Night of the Serpents come, and the supporters of Archduke butcher the supporters of the Overseer and take over the city, or at least attempt to. Or I can warn Elborn. Sorry. Or I can warn Elborn. Whoa. Whoa. Thank gods I haven't sacrificed my last life, because this choice actually requires us to die. So I'm very glad because now there is a choice. This is a proper choice. We can do both. Well, actually, if I remember this scene correctly, if you die 3 times by the time of this scene, you can still rush and warn Elborn, but you simply die through death and it's immediate game over. So then the choice is between Night of the Serpents or immediate game over. Now there is a proper choice. I think this is a very hard choice for Bran Brante. Because, like I said time and again, he is a well-meaning but selfish person. And now his well-meaningness and his selfishness are at odds with each other. Like, it is... On one hand, he is not really happy that he sacrificed his friend Elborn and his connection with him, his promise to him to become a big shot. He's not really happy. And he feels tempted to make things right, to redeem himself. But on the other hand, his selfishness demands that he go home and do nothing, and simply accept that he is a bad guy. This is the ultimate choice of Imperial Nobleman, I think. Like, are you a good bad guy, so you're like, do bad things, but you are ultimately a good person, or are you just a bad guy, basically? Are you a bastard, but not a freaking bastard, or are you a freaking bastard, to quote From Dusk Till Dawn? And the thing is, fellows, this is also a complicated choice for me, like the player. Because right now we are choosing between 2 endings, in essence. If we backstab Elverman now, I'm pretty sure we will get the Court of Honor ending. If we stay loyal to Elverman, we will get Night of the Serpents. The thing is, I have already done an Imperial Nobleman run on this channel in my native language, and I have already done the Court of Honor. I have already gotten this ending, and I suppose my regular viewers know pretty well what to expect if I get the Court of Honor, how the rest of the game, how the ending will proceed, what ending will we get. And I imagine my regular viewers might be dissatisfied if I just do the same thing with some minor alterations. And Night of the Serpents is a unique ending for this channel. We have never done Night of the Serpents, so it will be something new, something unique, and I must say Night of the Serpents is a cool ending in its own way. Like, it's very dark, very villainous, very bleak, and it has some unique, cool content. So yeah, a pretty hard choice for me as a player, not only as a character. So sorry to digress, sorry to delay the decision a little bit, but I want to say something directly to my regular viewers who watch my playthroughs, who watched my previous playthroughs. Dear fellows, here's what I'm gonna do. Personally, I think that Bran el Brante should go and warn Elborn. That's what he canonically should do, in my opinion. There are several reasons for it. First of all, Bran el Brante is not a total bastard. He is not that callous to leave Elborn to die, to abandon him. He still has a degree of sympathy to Elborn. He was okay with deposing Elborn, replacing him peacefully, but he does not want to sit on a chair paved with blood. No. The second reason is that it does not make much practical sense to betray not only Elborn but Gaius Tempest as well. We have near absolute affection of Gaius Tempest. We served him loyally. He trusts us pretty much unconditionally. We worked hard to get evidence against Otton and get in power to summon Otton to the Court of Honor. So, and we are actually favored by the Overseer. We are now members of the Overseer's Court. So even if we cast the moral aspect away, it still does not make much sense, practically speaking, to betray the Overseer and let the Archduke supporters massacre the supporters of the Overseer, the supporters of Nonetheless, I understand, my regular viewers, my dear fellows, that you might be disappointed that I am just going to do basically the same thing I've already done, albeit in a different language. Nonetheless, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna proceed now with what I think Bran el Brante should do, like, in canon. Like, what he should do canonically, according to his character, according to what makes most practical sense, and according to what makes sense in story. But I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna continue this video like in canon. I'm gonna record the last chapter, The Revolt, a little bit later, but then I'm gonna upload an additional video. And in this additional video, I'm gonna unfold a different path. I'm gonna unfold what would have happened had Bran el Brante chosen to do nothing and go home. I'm gonna unfold Night of the Serpents. It won't be like a canonical playthrough, what really happened. Think of it more like what if kind of scenario. Like, think of it like these comic book specials where the question is raised, but what if this really bad, really horrible thing had happened? I'm still gonna stay in character for the rest of the playthrough, and I'm gonna unfold the ending of Bran el Brante's life a little bit differently than in my previous playthrough for an Imperial Nobleman. So I hope this decision, this compromise, basically, satisfies most of my viewers. I hope so. And for those of you who want to see what Night of the Serpents brings, wait for the next video. Nonetheless, right now, Bran el Brante is gonna rush and warn Elborn. Sorry for rambling for such a long time, but I really wanted to explain myself and to present my case, so to speak. Anyway, night is near. I briskly walk up to the stairs of the prefecture, glancing over my shoulder with each step. Did I just see someone's shadow moving behind me? Here I am, in front of the prefect's door. I will have to confess my own betrayal. I will have to tell my superior, my family's friend Elborn, about my weekly reports to Remiel Verman and about the promise of a prefect's chair the magistrate made in exchange for my espionage. But my conscience is of secondary importance now. What matters now is saving good people from the noble conspiracy. I take a resolute step forward. I cannot recall the beginnings of this conversation. All I remember is the feeling of profound relief and the calm, attentive look in Elborn's eyes. Elborn is very noble in this scene. He does not judge us, he does not humiliate us, he simply listens. Very good scene. The prefect has not uttered a single word all this time. Finally he speaks. You are braver than I thought you were, El Brante. I have long suspected yet that you had been dragged into some nasty business. But you have admitted your error yourself. Late though it be. I will decide what to do about you later. The most important thing right now is to prevent the massacre. I will inform the overseer and the officers of the Legion at once. Hopefully the troops will have time to enter the city and stop the conspirators. As for you, Bran, go home and pray that the Legion remains loyal to the overseer. You've done your part. Thank you, Augustine. I hope it's not too late. When I go down the stairs to my carriage, two shadows detach themselves from the wall. Before I can draw my weapon, a knife sinks into my back. Again and again and again. I fall down on the marble stairs, bleeding. I am dead. Elverman's assassins got me. Cave or death. I am surrounded by an immense grey void. There is nothing but shadows around me. The specters of my decisions, the spawn of my personal will. I see before me all my victories and defeats, all my errors and hopes. Now a shadow comes to life by my side. This is the death I choose to face, knowing what fate was to befall me. A colossal figure looms over all the shades, my future true death. I can no longer deny its imminence. It has always been there waiting for me. The twin gods effortlessly lift my tiny soul and hold it in their hands. Their will created me. The Elder did not grant me his love, he forced it into me. The Younger shaped me according to his law without giving me a choice. An enormous whirlwind arises in the void. The twin gods release me into it, and the torrent of an unfathomable will whisks me away. I am merely a minuscule particle of this universal tide. My puny actions and choices are nothing in the face of the force that this torrent harbors. This corresponds really well with my previous thoughts, that I have accumulated all this power, all this influence, and still I couldn't change that much. Am I just a grain of sand in the grand scheme of the universe? Do I mean nothing despite all my power, all my actions, all my choices? Which will I follow? And here, before the faces of the gods, I give my ultimate answer. I am an uncompromising Nietzschean nobleman to the very end. Though my own will might be minuscule compared to the will of the gods, I will follow only my own will. Only my own choices and actions determine who I am, not some higher power, not some earthly power, not some destiny or a previously scripted a chain of events. Like, only my own will decides who I am and what I'm about to do. I fall into an endless web formed by the wheels of the mortal world. I can finally exert my own will and make a choice. It feels like a first gasp of air after being suffocated by an alien will, the will of the gods. But one decision is not enough. I will have to follow this path to its conclusion, to turn this will into reality by way of my decisions, deeds, and actions. The gods make me free. Do as you choose, puny mortal. Make your own destiny, they say. And I will. The twin gods have commanded me to continue my existence. I am not done with yet. Cold pierces my newly reborn body. It's time to get back to my life. What happened to in the world while my soul was on high? Father anxiously relates the events of the previous night. The conspiracy that was about to destroy Elborn and the other supporters of Gaius Tempest fell apart. Elverman spies who stabbed me in the back reported to their master that the Overseer was gathering trusted troops, and the element of surprise had been lost. Yes! The conspirators went to ground at once. The serpent flags vanished from the noble houses as quickly as they had appeared. The battalions of the Imperial Legion that entered the city at dawn found the streets empty and peaceful. Remy Elverman retreated to his country estate under the pretext of illness. Although he has found out about the alliance between the magistrate and the Archduke, Overseer Gaius Tempest has not yet decided to strike back at him. The guilt of the other conspirators, including Otton, is yet to be proven. A seasoned schemer, Elverman has covered his tracks carefully. All I can do now is hope that my involvement in the conspiracy remains a secret from the Overseer. Truth be told, my involvement was completely involuntary, and the moment I found out what this conspiracy entails, I immediately switched sides, and I don't think I betrayed the Overseer in this matter. I betrayed Elborn, obviously, but not the Overseer. I was firmly on his side from beginning to end. Nonetheless, the prefecture, formerly swarming with people, complaints and disputes, now resembles a somber crypt. After finding out that the judges were behind the fall of the conspiracy, all the noble families of Anisot turned against the prefecture. Like, all of them, but I thought some nobles were the supporters of Overseer, otherwise whom these supporters of the Archduke were about to kill. Weird. Okay, nonetheless. Elborn has difficulty holding back the daily onslaught. He is forced to hide me from sight and forbids me from appearing in the courtroom. My work is paralyzed. Walking down half-empty corridors, I feel the cold stares of the other judges on my back. They look at me as though I was a man condemned to true death. Otton, Elverman, Gaius Tempest, Archduke Milanides, I have managed to antagonize everyone with real power in the province. They all have a reason to dispose of me now. Will I be able to survive without powerful patrons? What about Gaius Tempest? Like, why the game supposes I have antagonized him? I have not. I have saved Gaius Tempest and his followers from certain death. Okay, nonetheless. So... yeah. Final preparations. The carriage takes me further down the city's narrow streets. They are filled with noble carriages and commoners hurrying about their business. I watch the city uneasily from behind the carriage doors. The past few months have been so tense and challenging, but now I have to face the Otton's case once again. The outcome of this case will determine my fate. I have thrown away my chance to ally with Otton and Elverman and the Archduke, and now I must see it through. I must see my rivalry with Otton through to the end. The time to strike Otton down is coming soon. I need to make my final preparations. Okay, if we are going down the Court of Honor path, we might need to start a rumor among the aristocracy to raise our career, but wait a second. We now have career at 7, future prefect. We need it at 8 normally to summon Otton to the Court of Honor, but because we have evidence against Otton, we actually have all we need right now. I think it makes a certain degree of sense because Otton is a known traitor by this point. He's screwed and he knows it. Like, Gaius Tempest knows Otton tried to betray him, tried to lead this noble militia against the supporters of Overseer, and Otton is fucked basically. Otton is doomed to fall. So I won't actually do anything. So very soon Otton will be the only one unaware of his inevitable downfall. I tell the driver to take me home. I will take this time to rest up and regain my strength before the most trying challenge of my life. I have paid with my own life to ruin this conspiracy, and now I'm gonna destroy it completely. The hour has come. I stand at the window of my office and watch the living streets below, exhausted. For over a year, Anisot has been steadily simmering with unrest. Grim, heavy, dark red storm clouds now hang in the sky above Anisot. Preachers of a new faith fill the streets, urging the people to reject the lots. Commoners flock to the squares in droves. The mobs grow bolder and bolder as they demand new freedoms and protection under the law. The nobles of a sword demand that every mob be dispersed by force. They are ready to fight for the ancient privileges, sword in hand. I cast a glance back at my desk, still covered with piles of paperwork for Otton's case. I have been working on it for over 2 years now. My thoughts are interrupted by heavy footsteps and clacking hooves. A legion battalion is advancing on the prefecture. It is led by Dorius Otton, on horseback and in full armor. He rides right up to the steps to a square resounds with his commanding voice. I am Dorius Otton, High Commander of this province, and I have come to demand justice. I have proved that a judge named Bran Brante for you, thank you very much, has been collecting slander for years, seeking to tarnish the Otton name. I have already warned this judge, and I will not stand idly by in the face of an insult. To accuse me is to undermine the rule of the Arcanians, our noble traditions, and the sacred order of the Empire itself. I demand that a stop be put to this campaign of defamation. I expect Judge Brante to burn his so-called case right now. Until that happens, my battalion is under orders to treat all those who serve at the prefecture as traitors to the crown. No one will leave this building until I see these vile accusations burned to ash. Elborn comes rushing into my office. He is pale as a ghost, but trying his hardest to remain composed. Bran, Otton caught us off guard. I knew we should have begun his trial much sooner. He has the upper hand now. No one will come to our aid. We must give Otton our reply. It's all up to you now, Sir Brante. This is the moment of truth. How will you respond to Otton's ultimatum? Fear not, Sir Elborn, because we have perfect opportunity to bring Otton to the Court of Honor. Sir Elborn, I know I fucked up recently. I know I disappointed you, but please, let me see it through. Leave this negotiation to me. I have a plan. I have a cunning plan, sir. This is personal now. Otton is guilty of many misfortunes brought upon me and my family and yourself, good sir. Please, leave it to me. When I am sure the prefect is no longer watching, I summon a messenger and send him off with an urgent note to Overseer Gaius Tempest. I have spent all these years amassing influence, crafting connections, rendering favors, and reinforcing my career. Now the highest nobility and the mightiest Arcanians in Anizot take heed of what I say, and the patronage and the favor will finally bear fruit. I will get rid of Otton, my sworn enemy, and ensure that my career soars higher than ever, but I will not do it by blood. I will not do it by treason against the Overseer. I will do it by the way of noble honor and noble traditions, by the way of a sword, how it's supposed to be. Okay, in the note to Gaius Tempest I say, My lord, I have done as you demanded. I have overwhelming evidence of Otton's crimes. I have several testimonies of the legionnaires he killed as well as their relatives, and my connections in high society are too strong for anyone important to contest it. Otton has murdered warriors of a legion. This makes him a traitor against you, my lord, his lawful sovereign and representative of the Emperor's own dynasty. Otton must be punished for treason. Please, my lord, come to the prefecture at once with a garrison of troops, lest the traitors Otton take the matter further. I seal the letter with my family crest, the messenger takes it and slips out through a hidden passage. All I can do now is wait and pray that Gaius Tempest is currently in the city. I instruct the other judges to sit still and await their rescue. Then retreat to my office and lock the door. I'm gonna save all of the prefecture with my power and connections, so my power is good for something. After all, I can do some good to my province. The air hangs heavy and oppressive, a gloomy calm before the storm. I can hear the clanging of armor and Otton's menacing cries outside. Do not make me storm your offices by force. Brante, I am speaking to you. Quit hiding from the inevitable. You've lost. Accept it humbly. Come outside and face defeat. Never again will I accept anything humbly. Never again will I face defeat and humiliation. I have worked too hard to rise above my low birth. Sir Otton, Nonetheless, I go down the stairs and through the door to face Autumn, because otherwise he can commit full-scale slaughter in the Citadel of Law, and I will not allow it to happen. He dismounts his horse. Here you are at last, Brante. You obeyed me and came out. A wise choice. But where are all the papers you are to burn? I stare down the High Commander. Your case is complete, Commander Otten, and it will not burn. It will be passed up the chain to the proper authorities. The people must know that you have willingly murdered 19 warriors of the Legion. This is an act of treason against Overseer Gaius Tempest and an insult to his honor. For this, good sir, you will face His Highness's harsh retribution. How dare you speak of honor, pathetic human? Who are you to meddle in Arcanian affairs? And then I hear a drum roll. Soldiers of the city garrison are marching toward the square. They are led by Gaius Tempest himself, riding a jet black steed. Darius Sutton, I, Gaius of the Tempest dynasty, your overseer and commander, hereby assume command of this battalion. Soldiers of the Legion, return to your barracks. March. Your Highness, you have no authority over them. I am the High Commander. You speak of authority, Sir Otten. By my sacred right and authority, I challenge you to a duel of honor. You have insulted me, your overseer, with your treason, and only blood can wash it away. Lies, Your Highness. Lies and slander you can never prove to the court of honor. Sir Brante says otherwise. I have no reason to doubt the words of such a distinguished judge. The rest of the aristocracy thinks the same. So I guess not all of the aristocracy was on the Archduke's side and Otton's side, like some of them support Gaius Tempest and they will listen to us. Nonetheless, I solemnly note confirming the overseer's words. I have served my lord well. With a satisfied grin, Gaius Tempest continues. Otten, you will come to my headquarters at Castle Enery, where your treason to the crown will be proven by the highest aristocracy of Magra bears witness. We will clash in a duel of honor to the true death, as ancient tradition demands. May the justice of the heavens prevail in that fateful battle. Darius Otten does not speak, his spirit crushed. His soldiers routed. Weakly he gets back into the saddle and leaves the square alone and armor-clad, like a painting of old brought to life in the wrong age. Gaius Tempest dismounts his stallion and offers me his hand. I bow respectfully and shake hands with him. Thank you so much for coming, my lord. You were almost too late, Brante. Your note found me when I was about to leave the city. Fortunately, I had loyal people by my side. I am glad to see you have proven yourself loyal to me as well. Happy to be of service, my lord. Otton's fate is sealed. With your influence and the evidence you have amassed, not even the Archduke will be able to stand up for his protege. I shall wait you at Enery as well, Brante. You will proclaim the proof of Otton's treason and witness the duel of honor firsthand. I bow. It is a great honor to me and my family, my lord. This is only the beginning, Judge Brante. Prepare to take the prefect's seat. You show far more promise than old Elborn. He does nothing but rule the ancient order while you know how to maintain balance. People like you will save the empire from revolt and ruin. Until we meet again at my castle. Well, for a given value of balance, I guess we have escaped tyranny of the nobles and we have maintained somewhat reasonable justice while we avoided plunging our province into total lawlessness. So, and after all, we are a protector of the people. Despite our many mistakes and fuck-ups, we are still a protector of the people. So yeah, we have some promise to us. Like we will try our best to be a good prefect, if such is Gaius Tempest's will. The overseer and his warriors march back, kicking up clouds of dust. Elborn appears in the doorway of the prefecture. He slowly walks out and casts a sorrowful eye over the now empty square. So, You've squandered all the years spent on Otton's case just to curry favor with the overseer, El Brante. Yes, Elborn. Sorry to disappoint you. That's exactly what I did. We could have brought one of the mightiest Tarknians to justice. We could have shown everyone the power of the law. But you chose otherwise. And you chose poorly, I'm afraid. With all due respect, Sir Prefect, I think that stripping Otton of power by any means necessary is more important now than your idealistic dreams. Once again, sorry to disappoint you, sorry to betray you. I know I'm a terrible person, but in this situation, I stand by my decision. Otton must be punished as tradition demands. He is an Arknian, he must be punished in a duel of honor. Can't you see what's happening on the streets? Can't you feel the pressure building up in the souls of the people from this tyranny? No friends in high places will save us when the tension finally reaches the breaking point. And neither you nor I will be able to do anything to prevent the fire and blood. We will see about that, Sir Elborn. If any problem arises, I will deal with it as my duty demands. Right now, I use the existing systems, the existing power structures to punish the evildoer whom you had ordered me to punish. Sorry to do it the wrong way, sorry to do it by the means you do not approve of. But I stand by my decision. Elborn shakes his head slowly and drags himself back to his office. We will not see eye to eye in this matter. Like, he upholds the law, I support the existing power structure, I support the court of honor and the traditions of old, for nobles anyway. I watch him leave a lonely, bent old man. Actually, I feel sorry for him. He's a good man. I'm sorry that I had chosen not to ally with him, but still, I stand by my decisions. That's all I can do. Own up to my mistakes and make the best out of this situation. The sky over Anisot splits apart, showering the dust-covered streets with long-awaited rain. Oh yeah. Otton and the Court of Honor. The lofty stone ceilings of Castle Enery, the headquarters of Overseer Gaius Tempest, are enough to make anyone feel small and insignificant. The greatest aristocrats in the province have gathered here today, many of them Arknians. Yet I, a human of common birth, have earned the right to share their company on this day as the accuser on behalf of Gaius Tempest. Yes, I am the member of his court. I stand high and proud now. The servants announce the arrival of Commander Otton. Gaius Tempest takes his throne. His face remains coldly indifferent. The doors open. Otton enters the hall and comes to rest in front of the Overseer. Noble Arknians and most worthy humans of Megre, I have assembled you all so that you may witness an act of supreme justice. I hereby ask that the Court of Honor confirm my right to meet Dorius Otton in a sacred duel. Magistrate Elverman approaches the Overseer's throne. Otton furiously tries to get the magistrate's attention, but Elverman does not even glance at him. I imagine that Elverman is shooting daggers at me right now because he knows I have destroyed his little conspiracy. He knows he made a tremendous mistake to trust me, because like I ruined all his plans, all his gambits, all his schemes. I outmaneuvered him in this diabolical political game. Your Grace, the Court of Honor humbly begs you to state the reason for the duel. Sir Bran el Brante will speak in my name. My time has come. I take a step forward, the weight of many gazes on my back. Step by step, I have fought hard to reassert the old traditions and defend noble honor. I have earned a noble reputation, a place among the aristocracy. And with that, I have attained the power to punish Otton for his evil deeds. I may not go down in history books, but I'm gonna bring this bastard down. I'm gonna free my province from his evil and his cruelty and his bullying. That's what I'm gonna do. To hell with history book. To hell with history books, man. I am acting with honor and valor and kindness. That's what I'm doing. That's how I redeem myself. Good sirs and gentlemen, I hereby present to you the case of Dorius Otton, the High Commander of Magra, who was supposed to uphold order in the province, and protect the imperial power from its enemies. Instead, he has taken the lives of at least 19 of his subordinates, killing them all in dishonorable and unsanctioned duels. These were strong warriors, brave, loyal, and ready to fight for the Overseer. As part of a secret arrangement with the rebellious Archduke Milanides, Otton has sought to eliminate officers loyal to the Overseer one by one. Not only did he break the law, he also broke the sacred rules of noble honor, noble duels. Good sirs, it might be a founding principle of our noble society that some of us stand higher than others, that Archnians are rulers by birth. But I say this, not one of us, neither human nor Archnian, is above the judgment of our ancestors. None of us is above our duties as nobles. And Otton completely forsook his duties. He completely forgot about his obligation and his responsibilities as a nobleman and a high commander. He committed an act of devious treason against Overseer Gaius Tempest and insulted his grace's honor. I spit the last words right in Otton's face. The High Commander shudders with hatred. You, a former commoner, how dare you speak of an Archnian's honor? Your words are as pathetic as your lowly birth. Silence, subject. Unlike you, Sir Brante knows the meaning of honor and respect for authority. Indeed I do. I have paid with my lives to uphold the ideals of honor and respect for authority. Does the Court of Honor doubt his words? The Court of Honor hereby accepts Sir Brante's accusation. Through his actions, Otton has insulted his Grace Gaius Tempest. May the duel to the true death begin. May the ancestors of their bloodlines bear witness to the duel and guide their swords in sacred combat. May the younger carry out his justice through this battle. Helverman's like, you little fucker, Brante, I'm gonna choke you with my own bare hands the first chance I get. Gaius Tempest takes off his cloak. He walks down to the center of the hall and draws his sword. Darius Otton adopts a combat stance, then immediately attacks. Justice is on my side, Gaius Tempest. You have seized the province for yourself. It belongs to the Archduke's bloodline by right. Now everyone here will watch you die for your dishonor. Tempest evades Otton's onslaught, then launches an offensive of his own. I watch the two Archnians fence their battle, an otherworldly dance of death. I can almost see the two blood tides clashing, spattering everything with drops of crimson, as hundreds of ancestors guide each sword from behind the combatants. This is no mere fight. The Archnians' forefathers are judging their progeny before my very eyes. Otton fights with frenzied ferocity, but with every swing of his sword, another ancestral shade withdraws into the darkness behind him. Eventually Otton is alone. Alone against Gaius Tempest, who is backed by a retinue of crown-bearing shades. This is the fatal flaw of Darius Otton. He parrots the idea of noble honor, but he does not actually get it. He does not get that the judgment of our ancestors, that the duty of a nobleman before his ancestors is not a metaphor. That your ancestors will judge you and find you dishonorable and unworthy of their help if you are too much of a dishonorable bastard. Even nobles have their duties. They might be above the law, but no one is above their honor. A strike, and then silence. Blood drips onto the dark marble of a great castle hall. Otton falls to his knees wounded. His sword drops from his fingers. Enough. I am no butcher. I will let him live. Before your eyes and in the sight of my ancestors, I have prevailed. The truth is on my side. Darius Otton, you are hereby stripped of your sword and sentenced to eternal exile from the province of Megara, and anyone else who dares defy my rules shall face the same fate. The nobles kneel before the Overseer. Yeah, you bastards, you little double-faced weasels, kneel before me and my lord. Yes, kneel before us. Kneel! Otton heaves and pants, clutching at the fresh wound on his chest. Sir Brante, act as my right hand and deprive Otton of his blade. It shall be done, my lord. Otton's sword comes to rest in my hands. I raise my old nemesis' weapon above my head, bow to the overseer, then snap the blade in half. Blood trickles down my arms, but I do not notice the pain. Otton's eyes are dead and empty as he stares at me. He staggers to his feet, stumbles out the door, and walks away. His steps echo loudly in the deafening silence of the hall. With that, the former commander of Magra is banished into exile. I have reached my goal, not through law and legislation, but through the power of noble tradition. The judgment of our ancestors is the highest justice there is. For nobles, yes. Commoners must have protection of the law. We badly need reforms, still sure of it, but nobles have their ancestors to judge them. We do not need papers and edicts. We have higher justice above us. This is why the noble's lot is so hard. The overseer graciously invites me to meet him one-on-one as sign of great favor. You have served me well, Brante. The prefect's seat is yours. I shall appoint you the next time I come to Anizot. Be ready. So here's how we get the prefect's position. Not by blood, not by violence, not by killing Elborn, but by replacing him as a more worthy successor. At least in the overseer's eyes. And who am I to disobey the overseer? The emperor's brother. My patron, my lord, my captain. Okay, the journey home is long and slow. I cannot help but think of the unrest in Anizot. I have intervened in a conflict between mighty Arknians and changed the course of their fates. But what happened on the streets of my hometown while I was away? Absolute affection from Gaius Tempest. He loves us unconditionally, like, ooh, my little Brante, you're so adorable, you're such an adorable noble of a sort. Who's an adorable noble of a sort? You are, yes, you are. Yes, absolute affection. And absolute hatred from Darius Soton. He is so pissed at us. Okay. Yes, and so ends the peacetime chapter. Otton faces the court of honor for his misdeeds. Nice. Peaceful years are over, the storm of the revolt is brewing in Anizot. Tomorrow will be the day when I will reap the harvest of all my deeds during these 8 years. Man, what a chapter. Look at this ending events, like ennobled by the sword, favored by the overseer, killed our own brother, became the heir of the family, made Otton face the court of honor, like, whew, saved Thomas, saved our mother, became the family of means, like, whew. This was wild, guys. Thank you for watching. We will finish the story of Bran el Brante next time, and at the time after that, I will upload an additional video depicting the alternate path, the different path, the dark path, basically, like this dark multiverse. This last video will depict the Night of the Serpents. Until next time, take care of yourself and see you soon.